President Trump has reportedly been asking his aides whether the US could buy Greenland from the Danish government. The Wall Street Journal reports that the requests have been made with varying degrees of seriousness. The capital of Greenland is actually 300 kilometers closer to the US capital than the Danish one. The majority of the island, the world's largest, is covered in a permanent ice sheet that contains 10% of the world's fresh water. Well, there has been plenty of reaction from Greenland and Denmark. Greenland's Foreign Minister Anu Lonu said, "We are open for business, but we are not for sale." The former Prime Minister of the territory, Lars Løkke Rasmussen, tweeted, "It must be out of season. It must be an out of season April Fool's joke." And another politician, Rasmus Jarlov, tweeted, "Out of all things that are not going to happen, this is the most unlikely. Forget it." Well, joining me now is Rasmus Nielsen, an assistant economics professor at the University of Greenland. Thank you for joining me, sir. Lots of reaction there from your politicians. What do you make of Mr. Trump's proposition?
Well, basically, this is a non-story that has gone internationally viral during today. It would be, from a constitutional perspective and international law, Denmark cannot just sell Greenland to the Trump administration. If Greenland sometime in the future become an independent country, there would be another point. Then Greenland could become a free association or have some connection to the US like Costa Rica. But as of now, this is a non-story. It's not doable.
Okay, so you're stressing that it's a non-story. Why, therefore, do you think President Trump has made these comments?
Yeah, it's very hard to do motive research on Donald Trump as a president. So you can see that there's one argument that he's trying to have a legacy like the US bought Alaska a bit more than 100 years ago. It's trying to have a legacy. But the more interesting part of this story is that Greenland and the Arctic more generally is getting a lot more attention this year. Also, not just for the environment and the ice cap that's melting, but also for geostrategic perspectives as well.
So it's almost President Trump thinking ahead here, strategically, about what prospects there may lie in the region.
Sure. I mean, it's one argument you could put forward. I think this shows that he doesn't really know how the Kingdom of Denmark and the decolonization process has evolved especially since the Second World War.
And just tell us a bit more about that, because I was quite struck by the fact that Greenland is closer to the US, but at least geographically, but culturally closer to Denmark. For those of us who don't know much about Greenland, talk us through those relationships.
So Greenland has been a Danish colony since 1721, and since the mid-50s, it became a county in Denmark, and then in the late 70s, there was a process going to home rule for Greenland. So some issue could be taken home to Greenland in different areas. And in 2009, so 10 years ago, Greenland has obtained self-rule, so some kind of self-government where quite a lot of different policies can be dealt with from Nuuk, the capital of Greenland, whereas a few issues like foreign policies and security policies are still in the Danish constitution. That the Article 19 says that this is prerogative of Denmark, and this cannot be changed until Greenland becomes an independent country. But in practical terms, Greenland has quite a lot of foreign policies going on, and this is evolution that's been going on especially since the 70s. Where Greenland, especially in commercial sense, actually do have an international voice and is becoming an international player. That evolution is going in slow motion, but it's really, really interesting and intriguing case of what we in the research community call paradiplomacy. So
it's about Greenland
from beneath the states in some sense.
Stepping up its position on the diplomatic level. Thank you so much, Professor, for speaking to us. Very fascinating insight. Pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.